Welcome everyone and welcome back on the Decoders channel. So tonight we have the fourth episode of DeFi Talk Show and not DeFi Decoded. And like the co-host is Hash from Divine Dog. Welcome, bro. How are you doing?
What's up, man? Yeah, man. I was just kind of talking to you about that. I almost messed up the intro, man. Yeah, it's been a very I feel like I say this every single time, but I think this month especially was very interesting within Solana DeFi, just because there's been so much developments and an overall real tangible growth that a lot of people can see.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. Because we're still in the bear market, but the ecosystem is building. It's cool.
Absolutely.
And we have content for the show.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
I forgot to give you the chat. Give me 10 seconds. Back. Okay, so you should be able to see the chat now. Cool. Okay, so yeah, for everyone new here, so we are on Twitter Space and on the Decoders channel. You can, if you watch the show with like your watch to earn platform, you will be able to claim the views at the end of the show. So that's cool. You basically get paid watching YouTube, so it's nice. I mean, what was the last time when you earned money watching a YouTube video, right? And on the Twitter Space, if you want to ask any question to myself or Ash, do not hesitate to raise your hand. Yeah, but just so you know, you will be recorded on YouTube. And everyone in the chat, what's up? Hope you're doing good. And yeah, if you have any question, feel free to post it on the chat, and we will take the question. Yeah, as we go.
Absolutely, man. Let me not make the mistake I made last time by having Discord open. I just closed it so no one can hear that now.
It's all good, man. We good. Okay, so bro, what happened last month in DeFi land?
Yeah, so it's funny because Cal leaves in here, and he fills me in. He is a big Solana DeFi alpha guy. I told him earlier before the show started that we got to get him on this show, especially that centers around education and catching up each month, but also on DeFi Decoded. But he's a big time explainer on this, and he posts his weekly thread. So anybody who wants to keep up from a week to week, definitely follow up with him. And he also helps us with our weekly threads as well. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe I'll show up. The first thing that I thought was really interesting, and it's happened very recently, was how we've seen even more growth as we thought we wouldn't initially in all the NFT lending, right? And so there's been a lot of competition. If you follow Sharky's, so many people in Web3 have these different names. Rootsa, I want to say, what's his name? The Sharky founder, Roots.
Anton.
Yeah, I think it's Anton, but his Twitter name is like Rootsa.
Oh, I know it. I just know Anton.
He has been beefing with everyone on NFT lending for the past couple weeks, and it's awesome. Like I'm loving this because you wouldn't see this in Solana DeFi or even NFTFi very often. So something that we saw the other day that Khalif sent me was Midas, and now how Midas is like Khalif just said that versus Studa, and so so Midas basically you can borrow NFTs at 0%, getting their Midas token on it, and obviously you can swap that out for different or for anything you want, right? USDC or Solana for 0% APR. So if can we show this graphic?
Yes. So you want to share your screen?
Yeah, share mine.
Okay.
Let me zoom this out, spoil the script, but but let me go here.
Tag.
Here. Choose a tag. There we go. Chrome tab, share. Oh, okay. Just gonna go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So
no problem. Wait.
If you look at this, can everybody see it? Well, is that good?
Give me 10 seconds to connect it to the stream. It will pop up in a second. Yes, it is. Oh, we can see what you see.
Yeah, so basically HG posted this and kind of compared this with every other NFT lending platform, obviously except Citrus. And so some other ones are coming up. But yeah, this is basically showing obviously it's a lower amount that you get, but that 0% APR is obviously huge. So maybe later on in the show also I can pull up the kind of Twitter exchange that they had, but also HGE was calling. Anton said something back, and I can't quote it exactly, but HEE was basically like, I'd love to see Sharky go 0%, and obviously that wouldn't be good for anybody who is providing the liquidity on the platform, as they would have no incentive. So it was very funny to see that interaction. But what's funny about it and what's really cool to me is that you can see that there is actually competition that is happening within a DeFi space.
Competition is good.
Financial position in general, that hasn't been that way.
Yeah. Okay. Just like when I saw this tweet, like I was not sure what the fuck I was looking at. So okay, so like the goal of that is like to show that the PR on Midas is 0%. So like people don't pay, don't pay to loan the NFT, right? And on Sharky you pay like 1%, 115.
Yeah, and that's the APR. Obviously, on Sharky, like you see a much higher percent in APY, right? Like SMB, I know off the top of my head is 160% APY, and Madelads is 220% APY.
Yes.
That's just the flat APR. I know something that was very confusing to me at the beginning of my DeFi journey, finance journey in general, was knowing the difference between APR and APY. For people who don't know, APY is actually when it's compounded. So you compound your interest, but APR is just the annual percentage rate of the yield completely without compounding. So so that's so you're seeing what you have to pay to get this liquidity from each platform, and you're seeing what you have with Midas there.
Okay.
It's interesting. From this alone, obviously, I think the biggest thing is seeing this, and this kind of can catch some people's eyes to kind of do some more research. Because I know when Khalif sent this to me, I was like, well, I'm just going to loan out all of my my NFTs, because why not? Why not have more liquidity to have across the different places that I can earn yield on it, right?
Yeah.
And then he kind of was theory crafting different ways of kind of having that maximum. But I'm really interested to see how it panned out. I remember one of our shows, we talked about this and with much skepticism, right? Because he said,
yes,
the NFT backed stablecoin. That was really what was the biggest skepticism there, right? But we kind of still see how it goes. It hasn't done nothing too catastrophic, right? Because we see it all over Twitter the moment that happens, right? So I think everybody would not wait for an HG pile. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, no, sorry, that was me cutting you off. But like, okay, so if we go back to like the table, okay, so on Sharky, okay, so I'm going to loan my SMB. I get 3.800 bucks, and I have to pay 50% or like the value plus, 50% plus like when I repay the loan, right?
Yeah, so say if it's 14 days, right? And so the math on that one would be like 14 divided by 365 and multiply that by 115. I'm pretty sure that's how the math goes. Yeah. And then once you do that, you can multiply that by the loan value, and then that will be your interest that you have to pay back. So
but like if I do it with Midas, okay, I only get like 1,500 bucks on the loan. Okay, so it's free money.
I know, right?
Money. It's free money.
Free money.
You get the liquidity. You can do what the fuck you want with it. You in and out an NFT or something, and then you pay back, and then you cash in the difference.
Yeah, and so I mean, I wish I knew a little bit more of the intricacies within Midas and their platform. Honestly, when Khalif sent this to me, I didn't even know that the Midas was live yet, right? So I'm interested to see how it's going on, because obviously he's pushing it now because recently launched it, right? And obviously this is a sector of Solana that just continues to grow and grow and grow. Like we've talked about in previous things that we knew that Solana was primed for this type of thing to happen. And obviously with this being the most popular facet of it and pretty much the most simple way you could possibly get into it, we're just seeing
Yeah.
it kind of grow and grow as we're gonna kind of get into two different areas of it of
Yeah.
the show.
I mean,
As
yeah, it's just launching the platform, so that's kind of aggressive marketing, and then at some point they will put a fees which will probably realign the market anyway, right?
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation that's going on in
Yeah.
my head, right? But honestly, I can't tell you what HGE's angle is right here. I think obviously there's going to be something that comes in. I think this is a big play upon how obviously we've seen how ABCs has been going down, and now with the increased competition with Hades Swap as well. With Tensor having market making in their own AMMs, and now Magic Eden obviously has their own AMMs as well that happened this past month. With that they're doing, so I think this is a way to get in to try to grab some market share, like you said, aggressive marketing, and kind of a hidden way that we don't see right now of how they're going to be making their money. And I'm not suggesting that it's malicious or anything,
Yeah,
but simply
there is a lot
like,
of things we don't see.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, what are you doing with like around Midas? Like, do you just watching it on the sideline and wait and see, or do you still
Yeah,
do you try to
I
play?
think sorry, yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you're ever going into a brand new DeFi protocol, especially with something that always looks like it's too good to be true, right? Anything that looks too good to be true, especially in DeFi, it normally is. I would say it normally is. It normally is. Sorry, I was reading the chat. It normally is more of that too good to be true than even in NFTs,
Yeah.
right? Because we see things like Invictus and these Olympus forks, right? With the bonding. And if anybody knows that, that's way back in the day. You're a real true Solana OG if you know what Invictus is. But so that usually is how a lot of people just kind of get drained of their liquidity. People try to market in this aggressive marketing way, and they attract liquidity really fast, and then whatever is revealed is revealed, right? In Invictus's case, it just simply was not sustainable, and people just dumped the Invictus token really, really fast, right? And because they just bonded at everything for Invictus token.
And that's we're gonna talk a little bit about that later, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid with the views token.
yeah, but it's hard to pull off. When Invictus did going from $2,000 to like 20 cents in 14 days or whatever was impressive. Was a feat, that's for sure.
I mean, we could have done that bad with Solana itself, so that would have been fun.
Yeah, glad that didn't happen when everybody was calling for that to happen back in January.
Below 10, Solana below 10, that's sweating.
Yeah, below 10 was sweating, but the thing is, it was funny. I tell everybody that those were the best months within our DeFi investing because simply we were in these different pools, obviously, where we had a lot of USDC. So we were just and being in the pools, we were gaining a lot of Solana. So we had a bunch of Solana, and then when the price went back up with the next couple weeks, obviously didn't get back to where it is now, but it was $10, $11, and we had a bunch of Solana, right?
Yeah.
So you'll navigate that. That was a pretty cool time for people that are within DeFi.
Don't say never, bro.
You said what?
Don't say never. Like we never know what's gonna be the next black swan, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but yeah, maybe
like everybody in ETH is one,
exactly. And bro, what else do you have? What happened?
Yeah, so another platform that's caught my eye and that was shown to me was the Roblox Fi and how their platform and how they're slowly growing. We actually had them on DeFi Decoded
It's
back. I want to say one of the first ones might have been week 3 or week 4, and they were talking about their mortgage platform and their NFT leveraged trading platform. And so, you know, initially when you hear that, you're like, a lot of people are trying to have these different platforms. Is there enough market, and will the market shift and share within these things? Like first mover advantage. You know, for a long time, we thought Sharky was going to just dominate forever, and they're still dominating, right? But their market share is slowly going down as we see this competition heat up, right? As we're going to see, you know, there's you know, Citrus is now trying to do all different things. Famous Foxes, you know, they have a 25K USDC competition and giveaway for people that are lending and borrowing with their juice reward system, and also their raffles, right? They're doing a bunch of things to incentivize borrowers on there, so liquidity can be pumped up there. But also, you know, Sharky has been doing these different events where they're starting to be more active with these strategic partnerships we're going to see and talk about later. But also, you know, just giving like 2x points on a weekend, like that's huge, right? And 2x fishy. And so, I mean, people are going to eat that up because fishy is pretty well valued right now, right? And obviously, as Sharky floor price continues to rise as well, that's going to correlate with fishy. Yeah, and it's incentivized lenders and borrowers to get on there. So all that to say that we did not think that was going to happen a bit ago and this fast, because of the domination, and we didn't think first mover advantage people would want to get away from their safe spot. But as these bigger brands are getting into it, it's opening people up, and now it's even opening people up to some brands they might never even heard about before. But since they're able to gain the knowledge from going to different platforms, they're able to test something out, and now they're benefiting off it. So Roblox is actually their biggest thing this past week was their gain in their mortgage platform volume. I actually got this from I believe's thread right here. Was how let me also share my screen for this. Is that, you know, RainFi was actually, which is kind of, it sucks, is RainFi was the first platform to come out with these mortgages, right? And now they're being completely blown out the water, and now blown out the water by a platform that just released this past month. So let me screen. Okay. So you take a look right here. See that RainFi has a 43% decline in their volume within the last month, and Roblox is just absolutely. I mean, it says 125% just because they more than doubled their volume within the month, and they're extremely young platform. And so having that in their market share continue to rising. Citrus is obviously number one because it's the brand that most people are most aware of, but it's funny how they just stole any and all market share from RainFi.
RainFi was first, but they are losing market share. Yeah, no shit, bro. Like they have 2%, no?
Yeah. So I mean, it's unfortunate, but it shows that that competition is active.
I mean, like Tensor killed Magic Eden, right? Like, so
sorry,
like Tensor hurt Magic Eden pretty bad.
Yeah.
So there is no too big to fail on Solana right now, as of right now.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about that because whenever the bull market was on, right? And I'm not suggesting anything, but whenever the bull market was on, we saw a switch from Solana art to Alpha art, and then eventually towards the end, it was Magic Eden, right? And then during kind of the worst of the bear, right? We saw a lot of stagnation, right? Everybody was not happy with Magic Eden, but we stayed with it because there's no better option, right? No one want to go back to Solana art. There's no better option simply, right? There's Tensor, who was at that time just an aggregator, right? And I don't think they were even in October. I want to say is that's when they first even started to have their platform live and testable to my knowledge. So now as you see that a couple months ago now with them competing head to head now is super cool to see, and it has a little bit of a bull market vibes to it, but um, I'm not I'm
Yeah,
not too optimistic yet.
not yet.
But yeah, I mean, but Roblox is really cool. They're the first platform to have that the NFT average trading. I'm not a tester, so I'm not sure if that is live yet. Believe will obviously
Yeah,
correct me if
he's saying like still in private access. So they are doing that volume in private access compared to RenFi. That's madness.
yeah, yeah. So obviously they're the people that they're having testing out are using it, right, and
That's
things
cool.
are aligned. And people are enjoying the platform. So it's really going to be interesting to see when they finally go live because they're such a small project still. Like they have less
Mm.
than 2,000 followers on. Like I think they had more volume this past month than they did in followers. I think that 1.81k Solana is more followers than they have on their Twitter. So that's absolutely kind of crazy. And to see this rapid growth will be interesting. But another thing, not only their mortgage platform, but you're able to provide liquidity for these different features that they have um, in their platform. And obviously, it's private access. So the benefits, we actually gave away a couple of these spots within our Discord for people who read our exclusive newsletter. So we have a public newsletter now and a exclusive newsletter that we call the DeFi playbook, and this is what we wrote about. And so yeah, you'll be able to provide and stake just your Solana for crazy gains. You know, obviously the more volume that they have, the higher the APY is going to be. And as a private platform with the amount of volume that they're having, with limited people being able to deposit, obviously you're going to see kind of crazy single-sided rewards like this. So for to put people in comparison, the largest single-sided Solana staking rewards is like uh, 6.82% plus like a liquid staking, which could be another 3%. So like
Mm.
almost 10%. And so that's like I think 10%. If you find 10%, that's phenomenal. And that might even be on a Solana to IMSOL pair or something like that. But this is very wild. So but that's like I
Yeah.
said, it's a culmination of a very small platform that's getting large amount of
Really?
tester volume.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and if they have like power user on the application, that's the banger. Like that's the right strategy that we saw. Like even
yeah,
like with the recent project like Blur and stuff like that, like to address first power user and go like top to bottom, right? And that's what Tensor did too, and that's what they reach where they are right now. So that's cool.
yeah, you're hearing a lot about that, like power users and how
Yeah.
the strategy of utilizing these power users and having them have the maximum amount of benefits
Mm.
basically allows you to not have to do very much marketing. Even though, like I said, uh, funny they have less than 2,000 followers, but they're getting free marketing here just because of the power users, the information that's spread, the word of mouth,
Yeah,
um, that type of deal that's going on with that. So that's super
that's
interesting
cool. A,
on that aspect.
a project to watch for the upcoming months. We can keep reviewing like in the next dog show, DeFi dog show.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Yeah. Yes.
definitely one to keep an eye out on.
Yes.
That's for sure.
And there is another project to keep an eye on, and it's Rev 3, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say decoders for a second, but yeah, we can
Later,
definitely.
later. We still have time, bro. We still have time.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But yeah, no. Obviously, Rave 3 minting today. I want to say kind of one of the most hype mints that
Did they
we've
remit?
seen.
Did they cancel, like postpone?
I'm not sure. I looked at their Twitter for the show, and I thought the whitelist was going. I secured kind of my pre-sales because I'm
Yeah,
pretty
we are
close
delaying
friends
the mint.
with Techno. Okay, it is delayed.
Yeah,
Okay,
next Wednesday.
sorry. Yeah, I'm obviously not the best friend ever for not realizing that my own friends.
That's cool, bro.
But no, yeah. So what a really cool thing is going on with them, and I think Brave 3 and Sharky has both been doing two pretty cool things. They've been kind of up in their different partnerships. Like we said earlier, Sharky's been
Mm.
doing it because competition is on the rise. So they're trying to get their hands in everybody that can benefit their platform and they can benefit them. A lot of win-win strategic partnerships. And this is an example of one. So Rave 3 and Sharky posted, I want to say yesterday, that they have 223, they basically provide 220 loans at mint price for any Rave 3 mentors. So and then they'll also, for the first 7 days, those who borrow against their Rave 3 NFT will be rewarded. So that's super interesting to see there that Rave 3 is very confident in uh, in their project. Obviously, that they provide 220 loans, and if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, it's the mint price, at least for pre-sale, was 3.5. I think it was 3.5 SOL. I think it was supposed to
Yes.
be like $125 or something. I'm not made my conversions off. I don't remember the Solana price specifically when pre-sale was, but yeah, I mean that's if we want to say it's $100 times 220,
Mm.
that's still that's $22,000,
That's money.
right?
Yeah.
So
And
that's
okay,
very
so
very
yeah,
con-
just to make sure like everyone's understand like what Sharky is. So when you are a collection, and I know that because I had a talk with Sharky guy Cody this week for the same topic for an upcoming collection. So explain to me like so basically you're providing soul, like X amount of soul for X price, and people who mint can borrow that soul, like that amount of soul available, against the asset they've just minted, right? So you mint, you can get back your basically like soul, and if the price is going to shit, then you default it, but you save your soul.
yeah, basically 220 people are having a risk-free mint.
Exactly. That's
And they'll
cool.
have to pay a small price depending on
Mm,
what the APY they end up assigning and how many days
mm,
they have it. I'm assuming it'll be 7 days since they're trying to reward the first 7 days out.
yeah.
That would make sense to me. But yeah, 220 people, or even just 220 loans. It could be multiple people with the
Mm.
NFT will have a, a risk-free mint. So
That's pretty cool. I mean, you can even like if the floor price is going to shit, like you can even buy back with your loan and hopefully like push the price again and resell. That's yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting social experiment. It's a cool social
Yeah.
experiment, playing with kind of different financialization tools to benefit your collection. So
Mm. But bro,
it's
like we complexify every fucking aspect of NFTs. Like you can fractionalize, you can take loan, you can lend. Like it's fucking crazy. Like the ecosystem is madness, man.
yeah, and I mean, that could be a whole show within itself, right?
Yeah.
That topic of complexity versus utility and depth.
Mm.
That we've seen what's won, right? What's
Yeah.
winning is what's kept simple, right, and easy to understand. And a lot of the times, uh, DeFi is not that. I mean, Sharky was not the platform that it was for a very long time. Like most people didn't know that they launched like 15 months ago now. Like, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, like March of last year. And so, like it seeing what they've came to have and what we're gonna see right after this, and maybe this is the perfect segue to that. Is it? So there was. Let's look at this chart right here. So There is. Let me go back doing this process.
Yes, it's on.
Okay, so everybody can see
Yes,
this.
sir.
So
Yeah, just for the Twitter audience, like we're watching, like we are looking at the ATH 10% of Solana use lending. Okay, cool. So the traders on Solana use lending, and it's at the ATH right now, which is like almost 10%. So you have that going top right.
Yeah, you have an all-time high of the amount of Solana
Yeah.
NFT traders that are using lending. So it's at 10%, almost 10%. So 9.4% right now as of June 1st, 2023. Where you can see on the chart back in April, it looks like it was less than 1% by far. I want to even say that looks like it could be 0.1%. Right. So I mean, you see, it doesn't even get to 2% until there's a massive shift upward on August 1st. So even from April, so they launched in March, right? From March to August, they weren't even at 1%. Looks like September they hit 1% and then doubled till October 1st. And then they went back down and hit 1%, stayed around 2% in December, and then ever since then, kind of slowly climbed this mountain back up.
Can you imagine that shit during a bull market? Like
during a bull market, is that what you said?
Yeah, during a bull market.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're gonna print cash like crazy.
Yeah, and so that's definitely a prospect that I'm sure Sharky is talking about a lot.
No way.
For different investors, use it as a bull case, right? But I'm interested to see how the competition continues to shake up, because I mean, just like we said earlier with the marketplaces, when bull market comes around, things move even faster. Even though things move extremely fast here in crypto, right? It could literally take a month for Sharky to get flipped, and no one can see that right now. So no one can even imagine that. So it's cool to see that people are starting to, or Solana people are starting to embrace this complexity that Solana
it's good for divine dogs.
Yeah, it's good for divine dogs. Yeah, divine dogs. So everybody, we liked this type of stuff right here. This one we minted, and so yeah.
Yeah, like guys,
I wish I could say this was the divine dogs chart. That's what it is.
But yeah, guys, like if you're coming from the decoders community, decoders, that's why the decoders community, like if you don't know divine dogs, like obviously, like they're making like DeFi content and DeFi education for the whole ecosystem. So yeah, check them out.
Thanks, Vince.
Check them out. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so that is insane to see, and so as people embrace these complexities, it opens up different possibilities for people to create different things. I was a big fan and was really excited for decalls when they came out with their NFT options, right? And that's pretty similar to how I mean that they're both even more risk on trading, both decallers and robots, right? They approach it a different way, but both of them are leveraging how you can leverage more of your assets on the price movement of NFTs. And obviously decalls hasn't been what they wanted it to be with their NFT options platform. But we'll see how it is with Roblox, right? When decalls minted, I don't even remember, but I want to say it was last December-ish, October to December, around there. You can see that this was a fraction of the interest, right? And when they launched, I mean, it took them a while to launch, so that kind of suffered their momentum a little bit, but they didn't have very much volume at all outside their own collection. Their own collection didn't have very much volume within
Yeah.
their platform. So I'm interested to see. I want them to win. I want them to keep building and have some success because I think that'll be a cool place. I was interested to kind of put that into my portfolio because people don't realize there's not only degen ways to use options, right? There are different type of safe options, right? You can sell calls, you can sell puts that kind of leverage your sentiment on a different collection. So we'll see how that continues to build. But yeah, there's not all Solana and DeFi projects have been a success, right? As I guess that's kind of the core theme of what I'm saying.
But yeah, it's gonna be again like it's a topic that we can cover in the next couple of shows as it unfolds and keep building.
Yeah.
Cool. And there is another project that's building still, and it's not decoders, but Blocksmith with Migos and Forge. I think you have something about it, bro.
Yeah, let's see. Let me not spoil the entire show, but yeah, because that's at the very end. So let me come down to that. But yeah. So let me pull this up, and I hope he might not be in here, but Overlord, one of our community manager and one of our legendary community members, have been going on this journey of providing liquidity for Forage because of their upcoming mint with Migos using strictly Forge. Obviously, the volume and the volatility has rose on that. So he's been going on this journey. And actually, let me pull his actual thread up too.
And I saw on the timeline like some people get wrecked because of the slippage on Forge. Like they lost like a couple of $100 just because the slippage was high as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it literally could have been because of their margins as well.
That's true.
Right, and because I had my own Forge pool because I thought it was really unique. And let me pull this up. Oh, all right.
Share. Let's go. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So he back on May 28th. So 5-6 days ago. He started this pool, and it was, you see here, okay, it doesn't show his exact price margins or exact percentage margins of where it was currently, but you can see it's 10 cents to 14 cents he's provided liquidity for. And what's funny is that he's had these margins set up pretty well. Like I don't think it's went outside of 14 cents, and maybe it did for a little bit, but he's been keeping me updated individually and how it's been almost there. It's been coming down. But yeah, so his margins were very small compared to mine. Like mine, what I did was I had 110% up and had like 30% down. So because just to talk people how I thought about it, right? If Forage went up 110% and went outside of my margin, I would have been 100% in USDC, right? Or yeah. So I'm basically saying, okay, if it goes 110%, I am fine with being 100% exposed to USDC and not Forge, while still having a good APR. That's why I put it only to 20% down, because I'm like, look, I'm not gonna have this pool open forever. I know if it goes down below 20%, I'm fine with having that all in Forage because I know there is that catalyst event of the Migos mint, right? So that's kind of how I thought about it, and that's how I set up my pool. And I was still, even though 110% up and 25% down, I mean, if you did that on like a Solana pool, you'd get probably 0.1% APR. But with Forage, because there was a smaller amount of liquidity and also high amount of volume, I was still averaging 160 to 300% APR depending on the day. So we look at his journey, compared to mine, he's gonna have a lot more yield. So he had
600.
So the first day, sorry,
600%. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So the
do you have the results? Like, do you know how much he's printing every day?
Yeah, so I think he kind of talks about it in his thread a little
Okay.
bit as we go on it. Let me see firstly what let me check the chat real quick. I think yeah. So yeah, I'll show his results as we go. But yeah, so you go down here two 2 days, and let's compare the first day to the next day. He earned over a Solana. That's like 1.5 Solana in 1 day, right? He's
Fuck.
currently at 495% APY. I think he meant to say APR, or
Yeah.
excuse me. If I closed out right now, I come back. Okay, yeah. I think he meant to say APR there, but yeah, no, that's kind of crazy how with a $1,687, he uh, printed $30, which is 1.5 Solana. How much that was in a singular day. So
Yes. I think. Are we back online? I think I'm reconnected. We're back.
I didn't know if we were back or not. So
Fuck. Yes,
went
I
ahead.
think so.
Okay.
Okay, I see it live right now, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I
Good,
can
good.
reconnect when OBS is crashing. Yeah, I lost FPS. FPS went to fucking 2 frame. Shit. Yeah. Cool. Okay. But that should be fine now. Yeah, okay, I think we're live. Okay, cool. So I can reconnect. That's cool. Didn't know that.
Okay, so everybody can see. Are we
Yes,
back?
yes. Everything is
Okay.
good. Cool. Okay.
So yeah, and also before I keep going, I would definitely keep following this journey of Hippo. Hippo's a super cool guy, not only for doing this, but also in general. So 100% follow this. He's going to be continuing this thread within of his journey. I think it could be a super cool experience for people to see how a volatile pool can play out if you're willing and if you're bullish on a certain token. I think something like a token pair that I had a ton of conversations with, because people like Overlord, who's bullish on their project's token, was Dust, obviously, right? So a lot of people talk to me about different ways to manage pools, and I remember talking to JB, and he had like 3 different pools for Dust with different margins and his different risk, and it's really cool. You can manage these pools and have basically things that play off each other and hedge off each other by the custom margins that you can present. So it's that was super interesting to see. And so this is something really interesting that is happening now. Now that Dust is obviously not on Solana, that you can kind of check out and be able to get your feet wet with seeing how liquidity pools work. So
I love crypto, bro.
You said what?
That's why I love crypto.
Yeah,
There's
and
so many opportunities like to print free cash by doing a little bit of research and like some work to do. Like that's why, yeah, again, like I love crypto because it's rewarding you based on the amount of work that you put into it, right? And if you do nothing crazy, I mean, yeah, we spend thousands on JPEGs, right? So maybe that's crazy by itself. But you can always find strategy that match your personality, your portfolio, etc., and do something, make some bucks on the side.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things, like, yeah, I mean, that's why I love CT as well. Like, obviously, if I first got onto the crypto side of Twitter before I even got into to crypto, at least heavily into crypto, right? I was during my Binance kind of DeFi journey. I was not on CT, but whenever I got on Solana, I wouldn't be on Solana here today if it wasn't for this side and how you would just kind of easily be able to be accepted into a community, and how you're able to learn so much on this side of Twitter. But with that being said, also we will be posting a thread either today or tomorrow. I think I want to save it for tomorrow, about liquidity provisioning strategy. So how to effectively manage your own liquidity pool, which is kind of awesome because that's what we're going to be talking about further after we get through
Yes.
this thread. So that's really cool and see how that kind of goes hand in hand.
Maybe
Definitely
you
not
should.
on purpose
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Maybe you should post it on Monday, no, instead of the weekend, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably should. Yeah.
But liquidity provisioning strategy, bro. Have a little token that people can use when they can claim when they watch a show like that, and at some point, we will have a liquidity pool for that token. I have a shit ton of questions for you. We already discussed that in private, but I want for everyone to understand how that shit works, because that kind of information is not really out there, and you need to talk to people to understand how that works. So right now I have just a token on Solana that I've created, 21 million supply, blah 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 blah. It doesn't have a price. To have a price on CoinGecko and in your wallet, you have to be on the DEX or SEX, but DEX, it's gonna be a DEX, and create a liquidity pool for people to swap it for Sol or even USDC. So I need to set up a views Sol pool on Orca or Radium. So Orca, that's the people we talk to.
Yeah.
But how do you do that properly for it to make sense? What do you need? What's the blueprint to successfully launch a liquidity pool for your token?
Yeah. So that is a super complex question, and it's very hard, right? Obviously,
Okay,
we've had to.
just simplify the
Yeah,
step,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I know
We can make it very simple.
yeah.
So, um, the first thing is you can't make it a. You have to. I want to say there's a couple. The first thing that I'm going back and forth on, if it's the first thing you should do, is I think this is kind of a non-negotiable and should kind of be a no-brainer, is that you can't have a you can't have a bunch of the token supply out in circulation
Yeah.
already, right? So even we had our Halo token that we eventually sunset. Um, the main reason why we never launched a liquidity pool on it is because we took too long to
Yeah.
do it. Right. At one point, even though there was only about 10% in circulation, we knew that we didn't have the funds to launch a liquidity pool that
Yeah.
could still support that. Right. And
Mm.
not only support the funds to support that, but also the things in line and the speculation in line
Mhm.
to support it as well, to have also a buying pressure to it as well. So for first things first, you can't must have a very marginal amount of your supply that's
Yeah.
within circulation. That's why you saw with the shit coins that they didn't
Yeah.
even release their, they used the pre-sale funds obviously for liquidity, and
Yeah.
that's that, right? They had to basically do a funding round to even provide liquidity and have a proper price for
Yeah.
their token, right? Other shit coins just kind of randomly launched, right? That was what's the big problem that was happening, is that people would launch their liquidity pools, and then they would start the trading of the token into circulation, but botters would buy it up. So the thing about how to break it
Yeah,
down
that's good.
from a shitcoin perspective is that what these shitcoin developers did when they launched, right? They had to take a decent amount of their own money if they didn't have a pre-sale,
Mm.
and put a percentage, match the funds with a percentage of their token that would be
Yes.
their total supply. So, for example, let's say someone had 1% their supply and they wanted to create an LP with that. So 1% of their token supply against their entire token supply. That's why you have to think about it from a market cap level, and how you calculate the market cap is the funds that you have with it, the funds that you pair with it, where you see these different liquidity pools. Like we see right here, a Forge USDC, that is a liquidity pool, a liquidity pair. So say you had X token and USDC. So you put $10,000 with the 1% of your token, right? I'm trying to, this should be really easy math. That would be $100,000, right? If not, I'm mistaken. Yeah. So, right? That's right.
So of 1% of
yeah, let's make sure that we're not messing that up.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, times. Sorry, that is a million. That's missing a zero there. That'd be $1 million market cap. So that's the market cap of your token, and so that would even be way too high.
Yeah.
So to simplify everything down, because I'm trying to just thinking about the process as you go, because there's different. Obviously, what I want you to get out of my rambling there is that there's a lot of different variables that you have to think.
Yeah.
First thing is a market cap. What is a market cap? It's the fully diluted token. All of your tokens times the individual price for a token. If one token equals $1, you have a million tokens. You have $1 million market cap, fully diluted market cap. So thinking about that, market cap is the biggest thing. Circulation, supply, another biggest thing, and the funds that you put in to support that liquidity pool initially, because if it's only $1,000 of liquidity that you put in, the price of your token on a DEX can swing extremely fast, right? Anybody has $1,000 worth of your token at that time, or what would be $1,000. In our instance, 1,000 tokens, those drain the liquidity pool completely. That's why you have to have the other variable of having a low amount of token that are circulating.
That's not happening short term, hopefully.
Yeah, and then the last one is having speculation and demand off of speculation, off of the different things that you have coming up that are use of the token. So let's bring that together one more time. So market cap, which is individual token price times the entire supply. Next is your, gosh damn it, what did I say next?
Well, to implement like the pool, like the price, the amount of token you provide, the liquidity, and the second category.
Yeah, you need to have next is low circulating supply, right? Having the lowest circulating supply, have the demand within your token, and having the correct market cap within that. The amount of funds that you put in to have the correct market cap within it. The biggest thing is making sure you have a small market cap while having a small amount of tokens circulating, but having a deep amount of liquidity.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. That's the plan.
So I did not do a good job explaining it in the most simplest way possible. But as you can tell, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, right? It was one of the main reasons why I wanted DeFi education within the spaces, because a lot of people were getting absolutely rugged by different projects with tokens, thinking that it was passive income, right? So as someone who wants to be an educator, who has been educating around the space, I mean, I should have kind of that lined up in a better way to speak about it. But we have several write-ups about it that are now public about how liquidity pools work, not knowing how to successfully launch a liquidity pool. So that's kind of where I struggled a bit today, to exasperate it a little bit more than I should, and just condense it.
That's okay. Soon-ish, we'll be able to tell you how to launch a successfully liquidity pool.
Yeah, I mean the variables still stand, right? As we've talked about in our own DMs, But just quite simply, I don't think it's a simple process. You have
Yeah.
to think about the variables that we just
Yeah.
talked about, right? An appropriate market cap, the
Mhm.
appropriate amount of tokens in circulation, an appropriate deepness of your liquidity pool, and then demand going forward. So
Yeah. No, that's gonna be cool. And
so
I'm
that is my now new way of suppressing. I started going into details. I assume people didn't know what market cap was. Explain that, then explaining the different ways to create demand. I should have just kept it like.
That's okay. You did good summarize it right now. But I'm pretty sure that like everyone who's watching the show right now via our Watch to Earn platform gonna be bullish by that explanation of how to set up and how we like basically introducing for views in upcoming weeks. Yeah, closer to mint. So
Yes. So,
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, just kind of talking about that, we just talked about people who have these very early supply of views. I mean, those are crucial and critical holders that would be initially within this liquidity pool. So, talking to you guys, anybody who's a view holder, especially including me, we are a driving factor and a key variable of the long-term health of the token, right? Because even though there's different ways to try to maximize the percentage of success, the way what happens with the initial tokens that are in circulation when a liquidity pool launches, those holders and what's done within that first week is what's most important, and what you see kind of plays out for at least a medium term of the token. I remember, Dust went through all different types of circulation, but what I remember at the very beginning was that when an LP was launched, and it was kind of stealth launched, it did. It didn't just go to zero, right? As we see.
I mean, yeah, like it's a risk. It's a risk, but it's kind of forced it. Like it makes sense also to have that for if you want like a full ecosystem that can work based on everything that you produce. At some point, you need to put a price on it. So, but that's exciting. And like, yeah, I'm pretty like we're gonna do the math and stuff like to see what it's good, how much it's gonna take like to basically stack everything and like distribute all the token. Because like also the NFTs will have multipliers. And basically, if you have 60 NFTs, then instead of getting 1 view per minute, you will get 1 view per second. That can change everything. But that's exciting.
And see, that's just another variable that adds on to the value of views, not just like passive staking, right? You actually have to be watching and have to watch the earn platform.
And bro, like the replace features that we launched like last week, like having like 5 shows on the players and like watching that. So I put one video from Jersey, which is like another content creators that we can promote on the platform, and 4 other videos of the channel. Those 4 videos are like the top content watch on the channel right now.
Wow.
So it's working, like 100%.
Yeah,
it's working.
That was a Blocksmith Labs content creator, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that was Clouds for last week. But for this week, I have like a couple of like Asset Dash video and like other stuff and Jazzy video. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the math on Sunday, like to know like how many hours we added like to Jazzy video, because basically like videos on YouTube is basically flatlining as soon as they are like after a week or something, like even like in the first couple of days you go parabolic and then it's flatlining a bit. But if we have that meta in place and that works and we can continue to distribute token, etc., that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's fucking massive. And okay, so if we have like a finite supply on Solana, okay, I want to say it because it's exciting. We can go crushing with the same model.
Let's fucking go, man.
So yeah, you do that on Sol. You have the finite supply, small supply on Sol, and when you reach like the number of subscribers and stuff and distribute all of the token, you go to fucking Polygon, you go to ETH, whatever, and you reiterate the experiment. And then like the content is following up about Polygon. I can talk about Polygon founders, and then the channel grow, and then we have like 2 billion subscribers. Let's go.
That's
Like,
true. Fucking Web3, cross-chain, multi-chain
bro.
adoption. Every buzzword about adoption, cross-chain.
I'm gonna put AI soon. I'm gonna
That
put
is-
AI in the project.
Yeah, no, that is the actual physical
Uh,
manifestation.
but like, yeah, like I don't see how we can fucking fail. Like, content is good. We have great guests. We talk to founders. People want to watch it. They get paid. It makes sense. I'm excited.
Makes too much sense, man. It makes too much sense for View. It makes so much sense for the View's liquidity pool. It's just,
exactly.
And that's what you need. That's actually, I changed it. That's the number one variable. It has to make too much sense. That's how that's number one thing for demand of a token. That's how it goes parabolic.
It needs to make sense. Yes. And I think we can wrap up the show on that note. What do you think?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it was a banger of a show. I'm glad that we got to go through all of our topics.
Yes. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Like 1 hour show, 10 minutes per topic. It's perfect, bro.
Yeah. 10 minutes per topic. Yeah. I think we even spent a little bit extra on a couple. I'm glad we were able to.
That's why, man. We made it. We made it so far. I hope you enjoyed it on Twitter, and I hope you enjoy it in the YouTube chat. No AI, not DP. Yeah. Maybe at some point we're gonna work with AI, like AI content creators, bro, like VTubers, like the avatars on the YouTube channel, like the anime stuff. 100% that shit is happening with AI, and then you can scale content, and you can have content creators completely virtual that can create content based on like the hours of video that a content creators that produce, and have the same fucking personality. 100%.
If the only thing that I would say that I would want to talk about in Web3 outside of DeFi is AI. You have a dedicated AI show, you better hit me up, man, because I'm all into that stuff.
Really?
But I'm all the different AI content creator deals. Yeah, that I've already seen that, and that's kind of legit. I can't wait to see where that kind of scales and where AI scales from.
Bro, come to Solana Side Up every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. East, I think.
6 a.m. East?
Yeah.
The 3 a.m.
PST. 7 a.m. East? What's the time, VP? I never, because it's 12 p.m. my time. So,
oh, really? Yeah.
I think it's 6 a.m. It's in the morning.
Yeah,
can you drop the time?
Eastern, it'll be 3 a.m.
Yes, EST. So it's 7 a.m. East.
Okay, so then it's 4 a.m. for me.
Cool. Oh, 4 a.m. Yeah, so what are you doing at 4 a.m. anyway, bro?
Thanks, man. I need to get my grind up.
Web3, bro. Web3.
Exactly.
That's okay. Okay, we're gonna do a show about AI with VP because she hates AI. That's gonna be cool. That could be cool. That could be nice.
Yeah, I need to see that. If not of being on the show, I will have to definitely get the replay views. That's what's definitely. Up. If you can,
yeah.
If you can do that,
yes, and I will include you in the airdrop because you create content with us, so you get paid for the amount of minutes you spend on the channel building content.
Let's fucking go, man. That's what I like to hear, man. My guy Vince. I like to see him.
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
But yeah, we should definitely. Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap it up, bro. Do you have anything to add?
No. In summary, just to keep it really short and simple, DeFi is going in a right trajectory, not only from a volume standpoint, but actually from a building standpoint.
Nice.
NFT lending just keeps going more parabolic. We think it's hit its peak, and then it continues to grow more and more. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what our call is going to be a month from now. And very
100%.
last thing is that I actually did see that fitness clip today. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I will not do that to you personally.
I got bro.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us. It's all good, brother.
It happened to the best of us, right? But man, Ash, thank you again for this show. That was the 4th DeFi Dog Show, your monthly review of DeFi on Solana and any other chain. We do multi-chain, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So everyone, don't forget to claim your views if you're watching it on the Watch to Earn players, the Decoders Watch to Earn players. If you're watching it on YouTube only, sorry, bro, you missed out. And don't forget to at least subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, because it's going to be a requirement to mint the Decoders collection. That's going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, so just subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. And we will see you next week. And it's going to be a busy week. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.